EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for January 15th, 2019. For your Tuesday, expecting mostly sunny skies across the region again today, followed by another mostly clear night overnight tonight. Temperatures will be a little bit milder than they were yesterday, and temperatures will get up into the upper 30s, and most locations might be near 40 degrees down here by Philadelphia and points south and east. So a little bit, a touch milder, not much, but enough that you'll feel a little bit of a difference this afternoon, and still dealing with a light wind. And overnight tonight we are mostly clear. Now on Wednesday we're going to have partly cloudy skies in the morning, and then an increase in clouds in the afternoon. It's a frontal boundary that's situated right up here like this in association with this next cold front. In association with this low pressure system, I should say, and this cold front's going to move through during the overnight hours. So we're just going to get an increase in clouds with this, and not expecting any precipitation with it. I wouldn't be surprised if some far northwestern areas up by Williamsport State College and places like that get a stray flurry, but other than that, it shouldn't be a big deal. This front just falls apart as it moves south and east. The front itself doesn't, but the precipitation does that's associated with it, so that just moves through pretty much unabated. So once you get past Wednesday is another milder day, maybe a degree or two warmer on Wednesday than it is going to be today, and then we go back down in temperatures behind it Wednesday night and Thursday. So here is Wednesday night, we're clearing out temporarily, and then Thursday we're going to see an increase in clouds, especially later in the day, and then we have our next system coming in from the west. This one here is going to produce a swath of snow across the region, kind of the opposite of what we saw this weekend, where mostly it was the southern areas down here that got into it. These areas that I'm circling right now are going to be rain most likely for this one, and areas further north that miss out are going to get into the light snow, especially in these areas right here that I circled. So that's the areas we're looking at for accumulating snow, and this could easily produce a 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inch snowfall across these areas. Areas right along the bottom edge of this will get a rain-snow mix. You might get some minor slushy accumulations on that southern edge, but I do think this is mostly an interior deal this time for northern New Jersey. Much of Pennsylvania, except for parts of southeast PA, will miss out on that. But we will have this snow coming in later in the day on Thursday. It looks like during the course of Thursday evening from southwest to northeast, this moves in. And here's the snow overnight. So you do get accumulating snow. It will come down at a good clip for a short period of time. And again, 1 to 3, 2 to 4 is really the most likely scenario. We're going to have an official call out on this on the weather alerts page today. Our first call map for this will be out today. We're focusing our attention on this one because this is, even though it's not a major storm, this is still impactful enough because it's going to affect your commute on Friday morning in a lot of these places. So we're going to keep a close eye on this. And taking a look at some other guidance here. Here is the latest NAM that ran this evening. And this is the simulated radar off the NAM. So this, I had to use the 12 kilometer here because the 3 kilometer does not go this far into the future. So this is going at on the 12Z NAM, and it's past hour 60, which the NAM 3 kilometer limit of that model is. So here is looking at Thursday evening, right around dinner time, and then you see right after that here's mid-evening, and you see that snow starting to creep into our southwestern areas at this point. And then here is the overnight, and you're going to get some snow in here. Might even come down at a good clip again. If you see these dark blues here, might come down at a good clip for a little bit, at least for a couple hours before this starts to move eastward. This is looking at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then finally at 7 o'clock, you still have some residual snow showers going on, and that's going to move out. Then the clouds are going to decrease on Friday afternoon. Okay, in terms of total accumulation, again, not much. 1 to 3, 2 to 4 over this area, but you see where the line of demarcation is here. It is pretty much away from the coast and in the interior. These are your areas that within our coverage area that are going to be getting it. So it looks like a pretty good swath of 1 to 3, 2 to 4. Again, these fringe areas just south of here are going to get into the slushy inch or two. So places like maybe northern Bucks, northern Montgomery, back to parts of Lancaster, maybe northern Chester, get into that. Okay, but further northwest of there, I think the I-78 corridor and points north are your jackpot zones, if you will, for this system. But again, not a big deal, but it will be a big deal for travel on Friday morning for those interior areas, especially. Further south and east, maybe a rain-snow mix, but not really sticking too much down toward Philadelphia, central and southern New Jersey and Delaware. Not looking at much there either, just looking at mostly rain in those areas. Okay, so that's what we're looking at from this first system. Now, we talked about in yesterday's video what will have to happen for this system here. It needs to remain at this level to lower heights behind it. If it gets any weaker or trends any weaker over the next 24 to 48 hours, that's going to be bad if you want snow for the weekend system. Now, this isn't the only player in this. There's a very strong high pressure involved in this well up to the north off the map that's sitting over Canada. That's the speed of that incoming polar vortex, tropospheric polar vortex that is shooting this cold air down in here. This is still looking at Thursday night here, but I'm just showing you that this tropospheric polar vortex is going to be pushing the cold air down to the south and east. It's going to be a matter of timing of how quickly that gets in here to offset some of that ocean, warm ocean air coming off the Atlantic Ocean and pushing against that. And wherever that meets in the middle is going to be a thermal gradient. You're going to get some pretty good snow out of it. Question is going to be where. Now here's the system coming in. Looks like an increase in clouds on Saturday. Comes in already Saturday afternoon or early evening, and you're going to get a pretty good thump of snow on the front end, it looks like. So everybody starts off snow, maybe not southeast 995, probably starts off as rain there also. But in the interior, northwest of I-95, you're getting into this thump of snow on the front end, but it looks like you're going to change over at some point, and see where that thermal gradient is here. Is actually right in here. Here's your thermal gradient where it's lining up. Now, so on the southeastern part of that, you're still rain. Right in the middle, you get a mix. Freezing rain, sleet, snow, kind of all mixed together. On the northwest side of that, you get some heavy snow right up here. So it's starting to favor that the models are starting to bring in some warm air, winning out, and this high to the north is not quite as strong, or not in here quite as fast, so that's going to favor the interior locations out here. So your central PA locations, probably north of Harrisburg, going back to State College, Selins Grove, Williamsport, up to Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, those areas are looking out to make out pretty good out of this. If this were, in fact, the case that this is going to take this track. There is a chance that it can cut even further inland. There's less of a, I'd say there's a very slim chance that it does one of these numbers that comes right out like this. Very slim chance. Most probable track is somewhere in the middle, which is going to take it right up here like this. And that's why you get that changeover. Until this passes, once that happens, then you're going to have an opportunity for this, any areas that changed over to rain, to go back to snow on the back end. So ice, so it goes basically on these fringe areas especially. Let me get back to that image. I don't know what just happened there. On these fringe areas especially, you get snow, the thump of snow to start, then you go over to sleet, freezing rain, then maybe rain, then back to ice, and then back to snow. So it's kind of a complicated mess here. We're going to have to dissect for the next couple of days, and it's going to be very critical what the track is of this to determine who gets what and how much and for what duration of time. And again, there could be some significant snow that's measured in feet. At least a foot, I should say, in the far interior, and that is very, very much a good possibility. A lot of moisture with this one. This one has a lot of moisture with it, and this could be a very high impact storm for regardless of precipitation type. Whether we're talking about heavy rain, heavy icing in the middle, heavy snow on the northwest side, wherever that track ends up being, will dictate the precipitation type, but it's going to be a high impact system regardless, with a lot of moisture involved with this. So this system moves away on Sunday evening. Again, you get some antifrontal snow on the back end here if a second low pressure is developing, like the GFS is indicating anyway. And then we go back to mostly sunny skies here on Monday, but very, very cold. That cold air is going to catch up here eventually, and it's going to be very, very cold on Monday and Tuesday of next week, with temperatures that are going to be struggling to get to the teens for highs and single-digit lows. So very, very cold temperatures coming in. It's going to be a matter of timing how quickly that cold air gets in here and when the system moves into the region. And, that thermal gradient is going to set up somewhere across our region, just a matter of where. That's something we're going to determine over the next couple of days. I do want to focus on this one first, though, because this one's coming in on Thursday night. This one looks imminent now and is going to require a snow map today. So you will see that from us today at 5 p.m. on the Weather Alerts page. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich. That is your outlook for January 15th, 2019. Have a great Tuesday.